Hello, viewers. Good morning and welcome to today's edition of Leadership Hall interview on the African Townhal online television. Leadership Hall interview program is created with the main objective to prepare the rising generations of Africa to access leadership in politics, religion, civil society, and entrepreneurship through personal development and personal empowerment programs, so they can bring about the African Renaissance. Townhal Communication Company Limited is set up with the principal objective of helping the rising generations of Africa leverage the power of technology to bring them to one town hall meeting every week so that they will be able to meet, get a voice of their own, discuss Africa, and prepare themselves for leadership, to become leadership in Africa. The Leadership Hall interview is created as part of the offerings of Project 30 Before 30 International, which is given to the world by the Townhal Communication Company. In Leadership Hall interviews, we interview young and upwardly moving leaders and others of older generations who can inspire the rising generations of Africa. We want our guests to help the rising generations know about what they can do or what they can begin to do right now to enable them become successful leaders of Africa tomorrow, and help them prepare themselves to remove the scourge of what our guests will call gerontocracy, and return the Africa to where we call the autocracy, where young people will be in position of power. That will help us to remove the preponderance of brainless and blind rulers who are sitting astride the fortunes of Africa and despoiling it. Because one, they are just political jobbers who have no ability to rule except to steal. The only credential is the capacity to steal, to ruin, and plunder. Leadership Hall is prepared to raise the right type of African leaders who will take over from these people and change the African narrative. From our perspective at the African Townhal online television, we believe in the saying that leaders are readers, and that a reader today is a leader tomorrow. We want our guests to consider sharing stories of how books they have read influenced their lives and inspired them to take actions that have helped them become successful or put their legs and hands on the path of success. Today, we have the privilege of hosting a special guest in the person of Raymond Bobson Stephen from out of Sierra Leone. Raymond Bobson Stephen is an on-air personality for Vote Radio 88.9 FM in Kenema in Sierra Leone. He is the executive director of Sierra Leone Youth Decides and a young and upwardly coming motivational speaker. Raymond Bobson Stephen is a man whose ideas are so powerful, they have potential to shake off every single thing you think you know about success, about happiness, and about fulfillment. Raymond Bobson Stephen is a man who has received mentorship from many great men and women through whom he has been able to walk through in his life. We invite you, dear viewers, to join me as we welcome Raymond Bobson Stephen to our studios. Welcome, Raymond.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being here today, and I'm really happy. I'm excited.
Thank you. It's a big pleasure for me to host you in this program because I know the stuff you are made of. I know that our rising generations of Africa and even the older ones who wish to learn, we have an opportunity today to take one thing home that will help them change the way they think and the way they see the world. Well, viewers, we welcome you to join this special leadership poll interview with Raymond Bobson Stephen from out of Sierra Leone. We welcome your comments and your questions. First, let us know that you're here by leaving a comment to indicate that you can learn and hear us loud and clear. Then we want you to leave a comment on the chat bar or your questions, which Raymond will respond to us in due course as we progress in this interview. This is Leadership Hall uh, interview on African Town Hall online television. And the African Town Hall online television is a program of the Town Hall Communication Company. We invite you to visit our website, www.theafricantownhall.com. And while there, we invite you to sign up for our e-newsletter, through which we are able to inform you of the things that are going on around the world and business. While there, we also invite you to browse for all the other programs and activities that the African Town Hall is involved in for the sake of the rising generations of Africa. Okay, well, Raymond, we would like you to spend some
Yes,
time
I'm here.
and share a little bit about yourself that is not covered in the description that we've given, and then including that, what fires you on, what motivates you. So take it up.
All right. Thank you very much. I think that's an inspiring. Well, first of all, I just want to say I'm really, really happy that I have the chance today, to be able to add my voice to millions of young people in Africa who was already, make use of this platform. Well, I think one of the things that really motivates me is that I mean, like I read like reading books, reading personal development books. I think that's where I get my strength from. That's where I get, that's where I get my power for power in the sense that that's where magic has entered my life in so many ways. Because just like what Ben Carson said, that knowledge is powerful. That one like in today's time, if you want to become special, you just get you have to be knowledgeable enough. And one source that we can be able to get that power from is through books. So if you ask me personally, where I get my motivation is reading books, especially personal development books, and people who have been there before me. I mean, the things they did, things, their struggles, their stories. I think that has really been motivating me over the years, and it has been really helping me to see life in another way because they have been there before me. They saw many things. I mean, they had many challenges. They were able to deal with it in their own way. So I can be able to tap on their knowledge. I think that's what has been putting me on my toes so far. And and the other thing again that I'm just grateful that has also been pushing me. I like I believe in myself that you know that the best conversation a man will have is the one you tell yourself. So there are a lot of conversations that I've been telling myself that I can be able to be somebody. I can be able to become whosoever that I want to become, depending if I'm willing to work to do the things that, just like what said you know George S. Clason said, the author of The Richest Man in Babylon. He mentioned about that the wealth we are looking for, that one must be able to learn the law that governs wealth. So Raymond is in the process of learning all these rules. I'm in the process of learning all these rules. So these have been so far my motivation when it comes to life. And above all, Jesus Christ is also my motivation, because Jesus Christ has been one of the greatest motivational speaker any man can think of. If you follow his words, they are practical, they are life itself. So I think that's where I've been getting my motivation for. You can ask me.
Wow, that is awesome. That is awesome. So that brings us to another question that is like that, because in fact it's coming directly from your response about books. So will you mind sharing with us some of the books and also some of the heroes and heroines that who have inspired your life and helped you to focus on making a success of your life? So you said part of what makes you tick, what have been at the fire behind your or you are striving, is that you read books and you were told how many books do wonders to people. So can you mention some specific books and then some heroes, heroine, maybe mentors and mentees, and people who have inspired your life.
Yes, there are many people. Well, in like one of such person I'm grateful for, and I would like to use this platform is, one such person has been Francis Meribe, and of course he has been, so I think I'll start from there. So the journey started from there, because he, like, it was somebody I admire so much. I mean, like, I once had the privilege to serve a full-time mission. So while I was on mission, there's a lot of things I saw. You know, there's a lot of things I saw, and I look at this man's life. His life was a living proof. It was an example. It was like his life was like a movie. So he projected his life to us like a movie. So I was able to capture some scene from his life. That he projected as a movie, his family, and the way he made it with life, and just like then that connection goes alongside with John Butcher that he also introduced to me. I follow John Butcher's work so much, so I see the power from there. So John Butcher also is one man that has really motivated me so much. When you talk about the life book, if you follow life book, there's a lot you can learn from there. That that the kind of life many of us have been living, we sacrifice. There are many parts of our life we forget about, but if we can, it's good for one to live a balanced life. So looking at President and Francis Meribe's life, this was one man I saw in him a balanced life, that he prioritized everything. Like, he didn't sacrifice family relationship or career. I mean, he didn't sacrifice his health for his spirituality, but everything was in tune. I mean, he was in tune with his life. So I think he's one person that he has been a hero to me. And then the other person I will also look at is like John Hill, sorry, Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill also, he has been I read many of his books. Currently, I'm also even reading his book, Think and Grow Rich. I'm also reading that book currently. I think I even have it there on the chair. He talks about, he talks about a lot of things about, he interviewed people who made it with life that had nothing. I mean, they started with nothing, but at the end of the day, they were able to make mark for themselves. They were able to experience success with their life, their ideas, what they did. So Napoleon Hill is also somebody you can watch out for. If you're listening to me right now, maybe you are wondering that you want to, somebody you can learn so much from about life itself when it comes to area of personal development. Napoleon Hill has been a friend. He has been a friend, and I've gone through many of his works. And he talk about the mastermind, and then currently I've been battling with something that he has to do. He also mentioned about that in life we have six, ghosts that every human being faces in life. He talks about the fear of death, the fear of poverty, and the fear of loss of loved one, the fear of illness, and the fear of criticism. He talks about all those things. And so when I go through this, I see the reality in it. That's our life on a daily basis. Everybody, even Dangote, the richest man in Africa, that he has many fears, and maybe one of his fear will be the fear of poverty. He will never want to get to be poor again, so that will be his fear. And then there are people whose fear is illness; they don't want to die. Some people, they don't like criticism. So you see the reality in his work. You see the reality. So all of these things has been able to resonate with me. It has been able to resonate with me. And then you can also watch out for, if you look at the Chinua Achebe, a Nigerian writer. He's also somebody I've also learned from so much. I've read like Things Fall Apart. Many of his books I've read it. And then there's also a female writer in there, but she's late now, Buchi Emechita. I also read her book, and I mean that book, The Joy of Motherhood. That book is very, very good. I learned a lot of things about parenting, how women suffer in bringing up children and all of that. So I also learned from there. So I mean, there are many. If I keep calling books, then I think we'll not be able to live here today.
Okay.
We'll not be able to
Okay.
live here today. I have
The,
read many
the,
books, and
the,
before I go, I've also
yes.
read. Before I go, sorry for that. I also read a book from one of my mentor again. I think I mentioned his name. That is Growing from Your Experience. Please watch out for that book. I've also read that one. Then Early Retirement Planning. I think these are books that are dope. You might want to check them out.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're making a recommendation for the rising generations of Africa on books, because the follow-up question I have from that is, Africa is known as a people, the Africans, we are known as people that don't read. In fact, this saying has gone abroad that if you want to hide something from an African, just put it in the pages of a book. And you and I, who love reading books and developing ourselves, know that so much is hidden in the pages of books, treasures of untold wisdom, and even what will help us get what we want from life. But then Africans do not normally read. Do you have some recommendations for some, especially the rising generations of Africa, on what they should do with books in particular?
Yes, I think I do. But before I say anything about that, I would just like to quote from somebody who who made who who touched the lives of many people when he was alive. Michael Jackson. There was a time he was interviewed by Oprah, and he was asked that, now that you're so famous that normally you don't go out, what do you do on your no like when you're at home, what do you do? Do you watch movie? What is your favorite thing you do at home? And his answer was like, one of the things I do, I love to read books. And there was a follow-up question, why books? And he said, well, it is only through books that I get to travel to many, places that I haven't been to. It's only through books I get to know the minds of people. The minds of other people from other part of the world. So having watched that interview, I now begin to see that if as powerful as Michael Jackson was, he was somebody. He was a lover of reading books. You get so and when I also fell in love with reading with books, when I fell in love with reading books, I now begin to feel what Michael Jackson was feeling when he was reading books when he was alive. Some of the things he experienced. So now, reading book, trust me, it's good. Africa, we should try to change that stereotype. That stereotype of not reading book. Even many of my friends here, university will never give you. It's good, yes. University is good. Going to whatever university is very good, but they only teach you about your career. But when it comes to the area of personal development, when it comes to life, just like what said, I've really forgotten his surname, but the guy who wrote this book, The Rich Dad and the Poor Dad, he mentioned something
Yeah.
about that there are people who for the rest of their life they will work for money, and there are people money will work for them. You get
Yes.
so there are many people for the rest of their life they will just be working for money. For example, Raymond is a guy who works for 5,000 naira every day. I have my family. You find out that 5,000 naira, I'll get the 5,000 naira today, and then tomorrow morning my family will eat the 5,000 naira. Then the next day I go out again look for the same 5,000. So you find out that for the rest of my life I'll just be working for 5,000 naira. But what if I have a plan? I make an investment. I have something doing. That investment goes to a certain peak of, a certain level. You find out that I'll just be relaxing. My money will be working for me. I think that's what's happening to people who have money today. The likes of and Mike Ojenuga. You think the life of Dangote, Daily Momodu, all these this billionaire, because they have been able to make an investment. So their money is working for them now. So you can only be able to know this secret. I got to know all of these things through reading books. I got to know all about it's like through reading books. And you talk about the richest man in Babylon. You talk about the law that governs wealth. I got to know all that through reading books. You get so, it's something that will grow to that age that we need to change that stereotype. Yes, university is good. You learned about your career, but when it comes to the area of personal development, you have to read books. You have to read personal development books. You have to fall in love with them, follow their ideas. It will help you. It's kind of like gives you, one thing books does to it gives us many possibilities to life. Meaning, if you try A is not working, a book will give you an idea that you use that idea, it may work for you. You read from another personal development writer, he will give you an idea. Maybe you try it, you give it a shot, it will work for you. So you see that in books there are many possibilities awaiting you. So if you are not a lover of books, I beckon on you, please give it a shot. Try reading books. There are many books out there you can read, and trust me, you will begin to see life. You will begin to see magic that will enter into your life. You begin to see magic. There's this French philosopher. He talks about now Friedrich Nietzsche. Friedrich Nietzsche said something that there's something he calls, so I think no, it's Latin. Yeah, he said something about amor fati. That amor fati, it's like love of faith. You get that many of us, one of the things we need to do is that we need to like fall in love with our own life. That anytime we look at our own life, we fall in love with our own life every day over and over and over again. Uh, Francis, you can agree with me that there are a lot of people, the life they have, they are not falling in love with their own life. They don't even love their own life themselves. So they have been depriving their life for many opportunities that life itself has to offer. You get, because it's about working hard, reaching out for success, but you are not doing anything, meaning you are depriving your life, you know, to enjoy all the beautiful things that, you know, life itself has to offer. So when you start reading books, you see people whose situation it was even worse than yours, but you see that they were able to pull through. They were able to do certain things that transform their life. Then trust me, that will motivate you. That will set the fire. That will motivate you to know that. I mean, you've got to do something. You've got to do something. So it's about like books gives you like kind of like putting a deposit in your life yourself that it will help you become a better person. So we need to inculcate this habit of reading. It has really been helping me. Now, personally, I haven't gone to university. I haven't really gone to university. But to be honest with you, I'm not trying to boast about anything. But even my friends who have gone there, but when it comes to having conversation, when it comes to life itself, I'm way far above them. I'm way far above them. There are a lot of things I know they don't know. The only thing they know is that what they taught them in that classroom. That's the only thing they know. It's the only thing what they taught them in that classroom. And that's, as my mission mother will always say, that you need to think outside the box. So it's not about, so many people, their brain is just like in a room. All what they care is what they see in the room. They don't care what is outside. So if you want to see what is outside, what you want to see beyond the classroom, or you want to see beyond the room, then one place you can focus on, start reading books. It will help you a lot. It will really, really help you a lot.
Oh, this is breathtaking. And the author you were referring to that time is Robert Kiyosaki, who authored Rich Dad and Poor
And
Dad.
yeah, for
And that's a man that I follow too, because he has written so much. He has practiced so much. He's a practical man. Most of those things he has written, he has practiced. And, when you read his book, you take his years of experience and work into your own life, which will immediately expand that life. I like what you said about books opening people's vision to wonders and new things in life. I have that experience, and I can connect with that very perfectly. And I am glad to invite the rising generations of Africa to connect to reading books. Okay. The Townhal Communication Company, in their efforts to help the rising generations of Africa to access books and be able to read them, has created the African Townhal Ebook Club. The African Townhal Ebook Club is a membership club designed to help the rising generation have easy access with improving technology to books they can read. The ebook club boasts of about being able to put in your hand over 1 million books. And the membership to the ebook club is cost next to nothing. It was designed to make sure that the least powerful rising generation member who has need to read books will be able to get these books without stress. To be a member of the ebook club costs only 500 Nigerian naira, and you can download on your phone, tablet, laptop, or iPad on iPhone 4 books each month for the gold membership. And for the premium membership, which includes other benefits, you can, for 1,000 Nigerian naira, you can download 10 books, you can get book summaries, you can get videos of those books and audios of those books, all for free. And this is for a whole of 1 year. In other words, you get access to this for an amount less than the cost of a bottle of granite. I mean, the intent here should be clear, that the rising generations of Africa need to connect to books, because that's what will open their vision and eyes to what it's about. I like Michael Jackson's position, what you learn from him about books. Books help you travel. Books opens your head. And then here is a quote that I made about books. I would like to share, use the opportunity of your invitation to share. And it is that books contain blessings that God has already provided for you. And it's just packaged in the book and kept. And all you need to access that blessing is to pick a book and read. And when you do, like Raymond, like Michael Jackson and many other people, the rising generations of Africa and anyone else in the world will have access to all those blessings. I'd like to recall before we move ahead that I was following a man, a preacher. His name is Oshimolowo. I think that's the name. He owns a church in London. He's a Nigerian, but he owns a church in London, KNCC Church in London. He said, feeling arrived one day, he flew first class on a trip between Lagos and London. And then he, in his mind was, oh, as soon as I can get there, his first class flight, he would just recline in those expanded seats and rest and lounge all through the journey. But then he said, as soon as he took his seat and looked to his right, who did he see? He saw Aliko Dangote, the richest man in Africa. And then as he looked at Aliko Dangote, they exchanged some greeting. He saw that Aliko Dangote was reading a book. So he said, I'm just arriving to my first day on, on a first class flight. And then I'm thinking about sleeping all through. And the richest man in Africa who can keep 10 type of me and feed us is reading a book. So he said he repented immediately, went back to his his hand luggage and pulled out a book and read throughout that journey from Lagos to London. And I think what it means is that the greats, everyone who must be great must read books. And I am so very grateful to have this meeting with you where you're able to bring out all of these wonderful expositions about books. And I invite the rising generations of Africa to please do differently, and begin to read books. If you don't know how to start, you can come to African Town Hall ebook club and we will help you. And the website is simply www.theafricantownhall.com/ebook club, or you go to the African Town Hall and you will see the ebook club, and then you click over to enable you to find out all that we do there and join. Okay, Raymond, this is becoming more awesome than I'm thinking, so I'm very grateful that I have this chance to be with you. Now, you are the executive director, and I'm sure the brain behind the formation of Sierra Leone Youth Decide. Now, I need us to understand what goes on in this group. I need you to share with us, beginning with what are the objectives of this group? What do you intend to achieve with it?
Well, and as the name goes, you talk about Sierra Leone Youth Decide. It's about like this thing started way back in Nigeria. I can say that I started in Nigeria, where I see young people very very innovative, and young people, I mean, like, doing something, to better their own life. It's not like there many, I mean, not waiting for government. You see young people who are graduates, I mean, they're doing something to at least to earn a living. But now you come to my country, Sierra Leone, you find out that, many young people, we are wasting our life away. We're not doing anything, depend on, politics and the likes. And when it's time for campaign, violence and all of that, young people will become victims. They'll use us to do all their games. At the end of the day, when there is violence, there is killing. Before each of these political parties will just release a pull out a press release. The behavior, it has nothing to do with the party, blah blah. They will just say whatever they want to say. They feel like saying that they are not party to it. So now, but as young people, for far too long we have been deprived, and for far too long they have been using us. So like, it will come to a time that we need to make decision. We need to make decision and say that, because I think uh Pastor Chris, he's a pastor in Nigeria. I think he owns a church in Nigeria. He said something that I love so much, that success is waiting for the man who makes a decision. That's one of the key to success. You must make the decision. That success is waiting for the man who makes the decision and who says yes to success. If you don't make the decision that I want to be successful, it must begin with a decision, and that decision might be seen as a desire, just like what Napoleon Hill said. So, in order for the young people to be able to see life in another way, to bring out that spirit of patriotism, it must begin with a decision. So, We like I brought the idea. I got some of my friends, and many of the older people, they've been saying, you young people must change your ways. You must leave violence. You must be able to, if you check the educational system here, we are not really doing well. Young people go to schools, to universities, they just come out with paper, not knowledge. I mean, in a way, they just come out with the paper, the ordinary certificate. But even what they went there to learn, they cannot even defend the paper. So now, what do we need to do to be able to, I mean, to know that we have a role to play? Because if we, the young people, we are not trying to help ourselves personally, trust me, gerontocracy will continue to kill us. These old people they will just be continuing, because before you know, they will tag us, young people, you are not serious, you are they start tagging you with words that doesn't make any sense. But if we have young people who thinks right, who behaves right, who don't involve in violence, that you don't use me, you can't tell me, like the kind of mindset I have now. I don't even think any politician will approach me and say, Raymond, go and burn somebody's house, or go and involve in violence, or even buy me Igbo, say, Raymond, here is Igbo, take Igbo and go and misbehave. You can't even dare try. You get. So, but we have our brothers, especially, who are vulnerable. That these people, from time to time, they continue to use them. So, what and we make the largest population in the country. What do we need to do? So then we now say, okay, now let's come together as young people. This is a country where we have this tribal thing. This tribal thing it's also very, very strong here. The northerners and the southern, southeast, this political party thing has divided us. So now, what do we do? That we need to come together as one, under one umbrella. So we now say, now let's make this thing to be Sierra Leone youth decide. We come together and make decision to see that, and our decision must be based on autocracy. You give us a chance. We also want to be like, if you go to communities here, you find out that young people don't have voice. They don't call them when it comes to decision making in communities. Young people are being left behind. They don't seek their opinions, because they see young people that they are not serious. They are not doing anything to better themselves. So it's high time for we, the young people, ourselves. We don't have to wait for them, but we ourselves must make that decision that we are interested in whatever is happening. Even in my community, I'm interested in whatever development. I'm interested. For example, the reason why, like, this lady's book, Damisa Moyo, he talks about dead aid. I don't know if you've heard about that book. That Africa is a country where NGOs have been for decades now, especially in my country, Salem, but you don't see the results, because the reason there is that young people themselves now, because we don't pick interest in what is happening in our community. An NGO will come that they want to construct a hospital for the community. You find out that the better part of that project, they will eat the better part, and then they will go and pin a substandard building. But now, here is the situation: if the young people themselves, they are interested in what is happening in that community, they want to follow up, they want to be part of the process. If these people are putting up a substandard, they are using substandard materials, they will be able to pick it up. That, no, we don't like this will not be durable. Now, this is what we want, because it will serve like kind of like a watchdog, to tell them that we, the young people, we are interested. This is our community. We want the good for our community. But no, so they don't involve the young people. So you find out that most of these things they do, before you know, it will not even up to a decade. It will just wear out and diminish just like that. So it's about we making that decision that, no, we want to, like, be part of, want to be part of decision making when it comes at government level, community level, even family level, and even decision with our own life. Drug abuse is also killing young people here. We want to make that decision to say, I don't need, if I go to university, I must make sure that whatever I'm going to learn there, I must focus, because tomorrow this country might need you. It might need you to serve as a medical doctor. You are serving this country's children. You are serving Mama Salon's children. You're serving this land. So you must make that decision. So it's about making decisions for your life, the country, your community, and your family. So, and we, the young people, we want ourselves to make that decision. And that's why our logo, our slogan is, it's time for autocracy. Young people, it's time for young people. We ourselves, autocracy, because the autocracy, it's one thing that has been killing not only Sierra Leone but Africa. The old people, they think that they have all the wisdom that we don't have. We have nothing to offer. But I can challenge them that there's a lot we can offer. I'm not really I'm really confident that with the level of experience I have now, trust me, I'm even better. I'm even better more than most of these honorables they have in parliament. I'm even better more than them. They are kind of ideas I have. The kind of love I have for my country, the kind of things I want to see. But now, dear me, if I go and stand for all these their party thing because of my age or because I don't have money, they don't. So if you find out that the young people will not follow me, they will follow that politician who has money, who will buy them who buy marijuana for them and so on and so forth. But we want to come and let the young people see that their future is in their hands. The future of this country is in our hands as young people, and we must begin to make that decision. We must begin to make that decision that we don't need to vote for somebody because it's for party or whatever, but you need to vote for somebody you know that that person will be a living proof that will serve the community and will serve the good of the people. I think that's it.
Okay, that is awesome, and I think it is a very great organization you have set up there. The objectives are wonderful, and I think I need to encourage you right now to fight the fight of making sure that that organization stands. You people need to be taught and taught again, and you need to repeat this objective continuously and seek for other media, including coming back to African Town Hall online television to share specifically your thoughts on the program. Here is what I like to do because I'm in love with the idea of what you've started. I'd like you to package an opportunity to come online with a few of your members and leaders of your organization, and we will provide you the platform to tell the world more about what you're doing. Because we need everything we can put out there that can save the rising generations of Africa. Okay? All right. And
Thank you. We'll look forward to that.
okay. So, and I'm following up on the CLO you decide. I would like to find out if there are some activities you have already started doing. You know, if you have an objective, those objectives are brought to life by activities. Are there any things you have already started doing? And then what impact are those
Yes.
making in the community?
Yes, and there are a lot of things that we have been doing. I think one of the things that that is my interest. I love mentorship. So we have been giving mentorship on the radio, and then from the radio we'll take it to schools like community schools. We go from one secondary school to another because there are some we want to catch them young. Want to catch them young. So we go to community schools and we engage them. We call them for training. Even though the WAS they just took, we had a kind of like a mentorship how they can succeed in their studies. We invited them, and then we had a workshop with them that ended. Like it's kind of like preparing their mindset about, what is before them, that they should be calm and prepare well. So we have been also able to do that well. And then the other thing again we have been able to go to involve partner with other young youth organizations who have been also into this activism. So we have been working with them, with partner having workshop, sharing, giving us they have been giving us their platform, and then we'll also have like a radio, like a tour in Kenema, all the radio station in Kenema. We have about like 10 to 11 radio stations. We've been able to engage all of them. We've been able to go there and to sell our messages to them. And then the other thing again, we've been able, because the country, since it's about Sierra Leone, we've been able to create WhatsApp group for each region. Like you have Sierra Leone, you decide you have both chapter. You have the Freetown chapter, you have the Kailao, Kenema chapter, and then we have coordinators from each of these areas. But now we are currently working with Kenema people. And then one of the things we also want to work on currently that we are planning, we want to talk about the adolescent sexual reproductive health. That's one of the pending project that we want to embark on right now, and we are just waiting on somebody who wants to help us, to sponsor that project. So when the thing just happened there, we can be able to, to just shoot on, with the project. But actually, we don't. The reason why we don't, because now, if this is my country. One good thing that politicians are, they are very very smart. If we see that we want to depend on them, they can change the narrative. Before you know, they will start telling you, you need to campaign for me, and we want to do this devoid of politics, devoid of regionalism. devoid of tribalism. It's purely no partisan. It's purely about young people entirely. So we don't want to go too much, start begging politicians, hey, come and help us. Before you know, they will just change the narrative. That okay, now you do this for us. They will, because just like in the world of personal development, if there are certain people, if you keep asking them for help, before you know, your emotional security is lost. They will keep controlling you. So that kind of stuff. We don't want to do that.
Oh, perfect, perfect. I like the attitude of independence from um, politicians on this matter, because what you're actually up against you are up against the result of their misrule of Africa, and you cannot therefore go to them to get resources and expect to stay on course. And I want to commend the what you have done, to add value to these young people, especially those who are writing their school certificate examinations, that you're able to help to prepare themselves, because preparation is everything. Preparation is where is the key to all of it. Okay, I think that is very great. What I would do for you in this is to keep wishing that you have the strength to continue to build this up, and build it up in such a way that it will get its own life and serve the youth of Sierra Leone very well. I'm so connected to what the young people of Africa need to be doing. That's why the Townhal Communication Company Limited created the Project 30 Before 30 International, which is a project by which we want to help the rising generations to be able to set at least 30 goals at around the 12 areas of their lives, and then work to achieve those goals before they turn 30 years of age, so they can have success. So, and I think that agrees very effectively with the objectives and the work you are doing with Sierra Leone Youth Decide. So I wish you strength there. And if you know what we can do by Town Hall Communication Company and the African Town Hall Online Television, do not hesitate to get across with us. We are going to do them without strings attached, like politicians who want strings, but we don't want any strings. Okay. All right. Raymond, this is a great meeting. I want to tell you that I appreciate every bit of what you are teaching here today. It is helpful for the cause of Africa. Okay, so I'd like to remind us that we are working under the auspices of the African Town Hall online television, and this is Leadership Hall interview. And Raymond Bobson Stephen from Sierra Leone is on the hot seat on our show today. Visit our Facebook page and our YouTube channel by the same name, the African Town Hall, for more details about our activities. And when you are there, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also remember to click the notification bell so that each time we leave a video, you will be notified. At the end of this broadcast, this video will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, and it will also be available on the African Town Hall Facebook page, where you can go back there again to watch, download, and share it with every one of your friends. Each time you get to any of these places, we invite you to like, share, and spread this news, because what Raymond is sharing here today is not supposed to be left with a few people. It needs to touch all African hearts and minds and ears, so that we can get a new Africa. Okay. Now, Raymond, I would like you to help the young people of Africa a little bit further by inviting them to do specific things. So, are there one or two? Is there or are there one or two specific things, invitations you can give out to the rising generations of Africa right now that you think can help them, if they listen to it, make a difference in their life? Remember, you mentioned it clearly. University education is good, but that is not the education that gives people peace and happiness. We need education for our life, and so on and so forth. So we like you to find a way to help the rising generation with a tip or two of something they can do. This one is what they can do right now and begin a change in their life today.
Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm happy that that I have the chance to do this. I'm happy that I have the chance to do this. Well, to wherever you are right now, and you're listening to me, I think one of the things that I would recommend for you to do right now is now you need to begin, or you must make the decision. It's about making decision, that you must make the decision uh that you must start reading books. I think that's one of the things. You must make decision, because decision is cool. And then the other thing again that I would recommend for you, that is what Napoleon Hill said about, now we have what we call doubt, indecision, doubt, and fear. I think these are the three things that many of us, it's part of our story. It's really part of our story. Some of us, we have indecisions, like we cannot really be able to make decisions for our own life, you know, and we have many doubts that, oh, it's not possible. I cannot be able to do this. I cannot be able to do that. It's I can. So indecision, it's something that, so you must try to overcome that, like the indecision part of your life, the doubt and the fear. you know I can then, you don't have to give up. You don't really have to give up. You don't really have to. You must keep fighting. You must keep fighting, in as much as you want to have it all in life, I think. And shortly before I just conclude this part, I had a privilege of attending a workshop that was like on Saturday. So they asked me that, what is my number one goal in life? And trust me, and what I said was that I want to have it all in life. So everybody in the hall was like, they were laughing. Oh, what do you mean, Raymond? How do you want to have it all in life? And then that took me back to John Butcher's life book. And I was like, "And I want to have it all in life." And they were like laughing. Oh, what do you mean, Raymond? Hey, what do you mean? I said, come, guys, don't worry, calm down, I'll explain. And then I was able to detail what I meant, that I want to have it in life. I want to have it all in life. So meaning, I want to have a good health. I want to have a better relationship with God. And my intellectual life, I want it to be cool. What my contribution to life, you know, because yes, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but one thing that is my religion, my personal religion, is Matthew 25. That Christ said, when you see a brother when you see me that I was naked, did you give me clothes to wear? Did you feed me? I was sick, you visited me. And Peter was like, oh, what do you mean by that? When do you see all of this within do? He said, when you do it to the least of your brethren, you've done it unto me. So meaning that Jesus Christ is interested in our contribution to life. He's interested in that contribution. How many people can we help? So that's one thing we must have in mind. That's one thing you must also have in mind. That is a commandment. That's a commandment. So, and the only way you can be able to give a contribution to life, to touch people's life, is when you yourself become successful with knowledge, you become successful with material things, you become successful with health. Meaning, there are people who have health experience, they have good health, they have certain way they've lived their life, that even if you are sick, there is a way they mentor you, you'll be okay. So I think that's what you need to do.
Okay, great. This is beautiful, beautiful. Um, uh, Today has become one of the best days of my life, having this great meeting with you, Raymond. So, viewers, we want to remind you that this is Leadership Hall on African Townhal Online Television with Raymond Bobson Stephen from Sierra Leone on the hot seat. We have a program that is dedicated to the rising generations of Africa, and this program is available online. And we would like the rising generation of Africa to have a chance to access it. And that program is called Project 30 Before 30 International. Our
Yeah, that's
goal,
my project.
okay, great. Our goal at Project 30 Before 30 International is to help the rising generations of Africa to access personal development, personal empowerment, and help them work to midwife the renaissance of the African continent. We invite you to join our Facebook group, and by coming to the group page by the same name and ask to join, and you'll be approved. If you're already a member, we invite you to also invite your friends to come and see what you're seeing. In our efforts to use the vehicle of Project 30 before 30 International to support the development of the rising generations of Africa, we created this leadership hall interview. This is an interview series where we'll bring in the young and upwardly moving Africans like Raymond and all the others who might be listening to us out there to come to the online studios of the African Townhal Online Television every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Nigerian time to share their hustle, to share their principles, to share their philosophies, um, and those things that govern and inspire their lives. The intent is that they could, by so doing, inspire other members of the rising generations of Africa so that they can do what they must do. To help you learn more about Project 30 Before 30 International, we developed a 15-page book called the Project 30 Before 30 International Manifesto. The Project 30 Before 30 International Manifesto is available for free to everyone who would like to get them. And our intention is to put the Project 30 Before 30 International Manifesto in the hands of 1 million Africans within 1 year. If you would like to get your copy of Project 30 Before 30 International Manifesto, we invite you to send a WhatsApp message or text message to +234 818 339 8461 or email project 30b430 at gmail.com. When you do this, we will immediately send you your own copy of the project manifesto for free without any charge, because we would like you to learn about the philosophy behind Project 30 Before 30. We'd like you to learn about the statement of the problem in Africa and then the strategies that the project is using to help the rising generations of Africa to come out of the problems they face right now, which Raymond had clearly identified for us today. Okay, so Raymond, on a final note, we would like you to do two things at once. Number one, you are a member of Project 30 Before 30 International. Are there some things you have learned from the project? Some things that are available on the project Facebook group page? And what you have received for being a member of Project 30 Before 30 International that you would like to recommend to the rising generations of Africa? And let's know that the rising generations are the youth and young adults of Africa. And then if there are other final thoughts you would like to share with the rising generation, this is the time we would like you to bring it in. So first, share with us anything you have benefited, anything that is good about Project 30 Before 30 International, and invite others to access it. And then any final counsel you would like to give to the rising generations of Africa. Thank you, Raymond.
Yeah, thank you. There are many things. There are many things I've learned from there, and there is more that you can learn. There's this book I read. It's I've just forgotten the name of. No, I have read a lot of things. So now she said something that working with the wise. So she gathered like about 50, personal development writers, their works, and she compiled it together. The title of the book is Working with the Wise. And then in her book she said that the reason why she decided to write, to pile all their key principles they live by, is for her to tell the world that, when you work with good people, like you work with people who have been there, they guide your path. So to me, Project 30 Before 30 has been like a path, like it has been like a path, and like a pathfinder, a pathfinder to, because there are many, even the CEO of that project. I can say he's our own Henry Ford. He's our own Henry Ford. He owns the vehicle. He has created the vehicle, and trust me, this is a vehicle that you can be on board and you can see many paths. You can see many destinations to your life, because many of us, we are kind of like stuck with our life. We don't even know where to go. We don't even know where to go. We don't even know what we want. Have you ever come across somebody who you say, what do you want to do in life? I don't even know, my brother. I don't even know. I don't even know. There are many people we know, with that kind of answer. There are many of them, many young people in Africa. They don't even know. What they are doing, many of us, what they are doing today in school was something suggested to them by their parent, or something suggested to them by their friend. But if you look down inside their soul, they are not connecting with their soul, meaning what their passion, what they are doing is not something they've been passionate about. Because when you are passionate about something you're doing, you see that your best will come out. You do it with joy. The happiness there comes. So Project 30 before 30, it's kind of like a pathfinder. It's a pathfinder where you see that because it brings in many young people, they share their ideas. So it's like working with the wise. It gives you the chance to work with the wise. And trust me, when you work with the wise, definitely you have like 99.9 chances of you also becoming wise because they share their mindset with you, what they think, what they love doing. So they share everything with you. And then you also will be inspired because you'll be inspired. It's kind of like it will just be like I don't want to leave behind. I must see, just like the woman at the well, the woman at the well with Jesus Christ. When the woman, she had an encounter with Christ, and then the next thing she thought about was that let me go to town and call my people. So I think this is what the town hall does. This is what Project 30 before 30 does. Like when you go there, there's a lot of goodies there. So the next thing that you be like, you go and call your people. I recommended that for many of my friends. They are there. Many of my friends are there, and I believe one of my friends, Moy Kanejuana, the other thing he told me that you guys used to talk. Like he contacted you personally.
Yes.
Yeah, he's my friend. We went to school together, so that guy has benefited a lot. He has benefited a lot. So that's what kind of like it's like you come and see, then let me go and call my people to come. Just like the story with Christ and the woman at the well. When the woman, she had an encounter with Christ. The next thing is, well, let me go and call my people. Come and see the Christ. You get. So it's kind of like come and see. So there is like it's a pathfinder. So I recommend it. It's not about we having unnecessary chat on WhatsApp, Facebook, things that will not add value to your life. So it's high time for you to make that decision now that you must begin to do things that will add value to your life. I mean, things that will add value to what value will this add to my life? What would I benefit from this that will add value to my life in a way that remember what Christ said that let your light shine before men, not behind men. So you must find yourself in a place where there is light. And I believe Project 30 before 30, there is light there because the light will shine in your soul in a way that I mean, you already see yourself as success because you are knowledgeable enough. You've seen people who are knowledgeable enough. They are very proud, proud in the sense that they work with they work. Knowledge is very itchy. They are always looking for opportunities to share what they know. Imagine the former president of America, the way he talks, Barack Obama. I believe even in a month, if he doesn't get a chance to talk, I don't think that man will be happy with all that he knew. I don't think that man will be happy because he's always looking for the chance to share what he knows. Look at that. Why do you think that people like Jack Mark, with all what he went through today, is success? He's always looking for chances where he can talk, where he can share what. So that is the thing. So you have to also be where you can learn something and also be able to share, be able to give out. Remember what I said, your contribution to life. Jesus Christ said that in Matthew 25. Check it out. That if you see your brother there are many people, their problem is not food. No, their problem is not food. Their problem is not money. They are going through some amount of depression. It's part of their story. Anxiety is part of their story. Stress is part of their story. But your life, they just need somebody to listen to them. They just need a counsel. So I believe if you're knowledgeable enough, then you can be able to be their friend. You can be able to guide them. So Project 30 before 30, I mean, I'm also there. Meaning for me to be there, it shows that I'm learning a lot. If today many people admire me in my community, or Raymond is this, Raymond is that, even when I'm on the radio, people call me. I've been able to interface with a lot of stakeholders in my community. Is all as a result of what I know. There was a time, one man called me when I was on the radio. Like he called me personally, Raymond, I want to be giving you transport. You are too smart. Where did you get all these ideas from? I mean, where did you get all like he looks at my age and the way how confident I am when I'm on the radio. I mean, how I talk about things. He was like, this guy, you are too smart. I want you to be. I mean, I want you to mentor my children. I want my child to be a friend. So the man, he gave me money from time. He will call me, hey Raymond, you invite me to his house. This is a man who has gone to school. He has masters. But me, he even asked me, "Have you gone to school?" I said, "No, I haven't gone to school. I'm just a secondary school." You know. So sometimes I see my life. What if I have gone through all university? I've read, because from there I read interface with other things. Then I believe I will be a very powerful somebody. That's what I used to tell myself. Yeah, that's because I'm confident that I'm going to be somebody very powerful. Because the best conversation a man will have is the one you tell yourself. That's the best conversation. So I know that I'm going to be somebody great. I'm going to touch many people's life in Africa, and even in my country as a whole. So why am I confident about all this? Is because what I have saw, what I have read, books has given me the confidence of life.
Awesome, awesome. I just love every bit of what has happened in this meeting today, and would like to thank you very much for sparing time and your data and energy to be here to give. Just like the background philosophy of your life is, what have you done for this list of my brethren? We, the rest of us in Africa, especially the rising generation, are the least of your brethren, and thank you for feeding and for giving to us today. Well, viewers, thank you very much for being with us. As soon as we finish this, we get off the studio, this broadcast will be available on the African Town Hall Facebook page, and the name is simply the African Town Hall, and you can find it there to watch it, to share it, and to like it, and to make comments and to leave questions. Even if you leave questions after the broadcast, we can always get Raymond back to treat those questions, assuming you're asking for anything specific to some of his operations, like his radio broadcasts or the Sierra Leone Youth Decide project, which he runs. Okay, thank you, Raymond, for being with us. We appreciate every bit of the opportunity to share this studio with you today. You do have a great weekend.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Tuku
Yeah.
Goldegi, Tuku Goldegi.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. You have not forgotten some of the Igbo language you learned in Nigerian Nugu Mission, right?
Oh, I'm an Mende Igbo. I'm an Mende Igbo.
Mede
They gave me
Igbo.
an
That.
Igbo name.
Oh,
Chimobi, God knows my heart. So,
oh, really? That is awesome. Thank you. Have fun this week. Thank you very much, my
uh,
friend.
all right, Akachifo.
Uh-huh. Okay, thank you. This is a pleasure. I hope the rising generations of Africa will look out for this. Like I said, this will soon be on YouTube. Our channel on YouTube is the African Town Hall, and we invite you to go there and watch this video again. And then when you are there, subscribe to our channel and remember to click the notification bell so you can receive notice of the next time we post new videos. It has been a pump and pleasing pleasure for me to be with Raymond today in these studios. Thank you.